Hi, I'm Boise Mayor Lauren McLean, and I am proud to call Boise home. It's been my privilege to serve this city and her people for the past 4 years. Boise's a beacon of community, innovation, and natural beauty, and I can't wait for what comes next. As your mayor, my commitment to making Boise a city for everyone is stronger than ever. Together, we're building a future that honors our past and embraces new possibilities for people of all ages, backgrounds, and abilities. We're devoted to enhancing the quality of life for everyone in our city. Our libraries provide access to knowledge, technology, and safe spaces for learning. The Boise Airport connects us to the wider world, and our expanding parks and improved public services make Boise a vibrant and accessible city for everyone to enjoy. Our dedication extends to nurturing our unique and inviting neighborhoods. We're fostering diverse and welcoming communities where every resident feels at home, involved, and connected. In Boise, we believe in providing housing at every price point so that all of our residents can live, work, and thrive right here. By supporting diverse housing options, we're making it possible for everyone, from young professionals to growing families, to find their perfect home in our city. Boise's a thriving hub for artists, makers, developers, and entrepreneurs as we continue to foster a creative culture that offers abundant opportunities for success. It's our goal to fuel homegrown innovation, empower entrepreneurship, and support an inclusive economy that raises the standard of living for everyone in one of the most workable, livable, and walkable cities in the West. We're a safe and welcoming city. Our police and fire departments are at the heart of this commitment, making sure that every Boisean feels safe and protected right here at home. The dedication and service of our emergency responders brings invaluable peace of mind to our residents, and it reinforces why Boise is such a great place to live. Boise's heart beats to the rhythm of our parks, foothills trails, and expansive open space. The well-being of our community is strengthened by these places, and we will continue to protect these treasures and enhance their accessibility. Our goal is clear: to ensure that every Boisean is just a safe 10-minute walk from a park or open space, connecting everyone more closely to nature and to each other. Listening to you, the residents of Boise, is vital to our success. Your input guides the actions of our city, shaping the policies and projects that benefit everyone. This community is special because of each and every person who contributes to our success. To protect our community for generations to come, Boise is taking steps towards achieving our bold climate goals. Our efforts to protect our clean air and clean water aren't just investments in our natural environment, but in the health and well-being.
Please welcome to the stage Mountain West Bank Community Banking President and Boise Metro Chamber Board Chair, Dan Price.
Thank you, and good afternoon. It is great to see such a great crowd on such a nice day. Technology, Blue Cross of Idaho, ESI Construction, BVA Development, CBH Homes, HC Company, and our contributing sponsors are listed in your program. Just a quick reminder that immediately following Mayor McLean's remarks is a reception in the jump room on the 5th floor, right below us, until 7 p.m., and that's sponsored by Excite. Boise Mayor Lauren McLean was sworn in on January 7th, 2020. She's the 56th mayor of Boise and the first woman elected to that position in the city's 150-year history. Mayor McLean is now serving her second term, creating a city for everyone, advocating for new parks and open space conservation, tackling housing and homelessness side by side with the community, bringing jobs and opportunity to Boise, and leading nationally acclaimed climate action efforts. Mayor McLean's service to the people of Boise began as a volunteer in 2001. She led the historic Boise Foothills Open Space Levy campaign, and along with hundreds of other dedicated people, secured protection of thousands of acres in the foothills for future generations. She served on Boise City Council from 2011 to 2019 and served as council president from 2017 to 2019. Lauren married her high school sweetheart, Scott. Lauren and Scott are parents of Madeline and Aiden. She's an avid trail runner, outdoorswoman, and reader. She and her family love to explore Idaho's beautiful backcountry by foot or by ski with their dog, Moose. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Mayor Lauren McLean.
Hello, Boise. It is so great to be back here at Jump with all of you today. Dan, I'm not sure where you went, but thanks for the introduction and all the support that you and the board of the Chamber provide our community. I really appreciate it. I want to thank the team at the Chamber, too. There's a lot of work, and you guys have done a lot to put this on, and I also really appreciate the support that you provide businesses here. And I got to say, a special thanks to Bobby Joe. I know you've been in the role for a while now, but as our new Chamber CEO, I'm so pleased to be working with you. It's been lovely working with you the last couple of years to get business here in Boise when you were with the governor's office, and it's wonderful to have you at the helm now. I want to recognize our city council. Your partnership makes the work that we do at the city possible for the people of Boise. Council President Colin Nash, Council President Pro Tem Meredith Stead, and council members Jimmy Halliburton, Jordan Morales, Kathy Corliss, I'm looking for all of you, there you are, and Lucy Willits, thank you for your service to Boise. Let's give them all a round of applause. And to our city employees, you are the unsung heroes, I would say, of our city. Key partners in ensuring that we continue to be a safe and welcoming city for everyone. Many of you are here with us today, but even more of our employees are working hard, providing the programs and services our community relies on. I am so grateful for the opportunity to work alongside each and every one of you, and I thank you. Now, let's talk about Boise, which is truly my favorite subject. One of the best parts of my job, and to be clear, it's a great job, so the bar is quite high, is introducing people to this great city. When people come to visit, many for the first time, or when I'm advocating for Boise, I find myself answering a lot of questions about how we beat the odds. From our clean, thriving downtown, to our world-class park system, our cutting-edge climate innovation, to our business community that's booming, and our diverse cultural scene. We have tree-lined neighborhoods where kids run free through every season and everything in between. People have lots of questions. They want to know what this place ticks, and I can sense that they actually want to feel it for themselves. And the question that I hear most, the one that I hear again and again and never get tired of, what's the secret? What is the secret? Because when people visit, or when they hear about our success, or when I'm making the case for why to invest in this city, people say, how? How is Boise so lovely, so welcoming, so clean and safe? How are all of our people so nice? And how does this city work? I'm going to read from a piece in the New York Times that was written about 35 years ago in 1989. Writer L.J. Davis described Boise wonderfully. He wrote, 30 years ago, when you took the train to Boise, Idaho, you debarked at the Spanish mission-style station after crossing seemingly endless leagues of gray sagebrush and black rock desert. Boise was a mildly improbable place even then. The only city in the nation more than 300 miles from another city. A city densely treed, it's an oasis dwarfed by the timbered blue immensity of the Northern Rockies. In those days, he wrote, downtown was dominated by the sandstone dome of the Capitol. The narrow streets were well lined with trees, and there were dwellings, well-tended dwellings of a solid middle class. And through the middle of it all ran the trout-rich Boise River. A mildly improbable place. Davis is asking the question, what's the secret? How does a place like Boise happen? How did Boise beat the odds? Well, I'll tell you today what I tell everyone who asks. And the secret is our people. And though not everybody believes the answer that's so improbably simple, it simply is the truth. It's you. It's each and every one of you. Our people have always been the secret. From our earliest days, when pioneers crossed that Black Rock Desert through those endless leagues of sage and settled along that wooded, trout-rich Boise River, we have known our community was special. And in a safe haven along a difficult trail, they boldly envisioned a city of opportunity, a city of promise for everyone, knowing that success in this wild, open land would only be possible and made real through cooperation. Boise would succeed by people looking out for one another through untold hardships and steep, steep challenges, long, cold winters and hot, unforgiving summers. By meeting the demands of a rapidly changing boomtown, one that would remake itself time and time again with creativity and innovation. By partnering together in community and purpose, the people of Boise did what I'd actually argue is wildly improbable. They thrived here, in the most isolated city in the country, in the middle of a high mountain desert. In a desert, water is life. In this little boomtown, Boiseans discovered that arid soil was wonderful for cultivating food, particularly crops like potatoes, onions, sugar beets. We just need water. And so we built dams and irrigation canals, transforming everything that was possible here in Boise. And we built the legacy of world-class, homegrown businesses like Morris and Knudsen. And the food they grew needed markets. Thanks to Joe Albertson, another homegrown success was born. There are so many stories like these here in Boise, because in Boise, innovation and creativity and just plain old hard work are hallmarks of our people and the businesses we create. Growing jobs, creating an environment where business can prosper is key. And just as early entrepreneurs built thriving businesses that led the way in emerging industries of the time, our present-day entrepreneurs stand on their shoulders. What was once a 4-person business in a Boise basement nearly 50 years ago, is now business that provides the opportunity to lead the nation in memory manufacturing and design. Just last month, President Biden announced a transformational CHIPS and Science Act investment in our own Micron. And from the moment that Micron started looking for a home for its future R&D and manufacturing, I made this a priority. Our team worked with the state, the region, businesses, labor unions, and so many others to make sure that Boise's residents had the opportunity that will come with winning this expansion. And then we got to work. making sure the administration picked Micron's Boise facility for a CHIPS investment. Our city and Micron have a deep partnership. We share a vision of supporting a diverse workforce, continuing a culture of homegrown innovation, and creating a strong future for every Boisean. To support this investment and others like it, I've prioritized city investments in housing, transportation, childcare, clean energy, and clean water. And we're looking at policies to support high-paying, large-scale job growth so that in 10 years, those little kids in our STEM classes right now can create memory of the future with a great home right here in Boise. And it's not just Micron that we're working with. We're working with other Boise companies seeking CHIPS investments that would allow them to double their size and the number of people that they employ right here in Boise. And we seek to become a hub for leadership and innovation in the industry. So we've got to nurture an ecosystem to support that work. Companies like American Semiconductor, Photronics, and Applied Materials are here today because we're a region leading and laying the groundwork to provide the trained workforce, the housing, and other things that they need to support their expansion. We have increased jobs by over 4% in just the last year, and there's so much more to come. We recently welcomed Excite to Boise in the heart of the Shoreline District, and they're already giving back in meaningful ways by hosting local job fairs, conducting food drives for our schools, and prioritizing sustainability. I am committed to making sure that Boise is predictable, that we are friendly for business, and that we support opportunities for all of our residents to build healthy, stable lives. A couple weeks ago at a convening on mental health, folks were describing what makes Boise a healthy and resilient community. They talked about how much we've grown, but yes, at the same time, how much we've stayed the same. Someone shared that just like when she was little in Boise, her son runs through their neighborhood with a pack of other kids. And her neighbor, this older gentleman, is known to say, well, there go the feral kids of Irving Street, as they run down the street, which I love, right? I loved even just that image. And she said that as long as kids are running free, she will know that Boise is still Boise. And I love that. That's really the dream when I think about it. I think about the kids across the street from me that are running back and forth at the end of the day, every day now that it's warm. Knowing that your community cares, that you can count on your neighbors to be eyes on the street, treating each and every Boise kid as one of their own. Even as we've grown, we've stayed safe. The kind of place where moms and dads know that our kids can experience the freedom of running and playing outside long into those days of summer, trusting they'll eventually come home safe and sound. And let's talk about where those feral kids of all of our neighborhoods are running free. Well, 2 years ago, together with the City Council, we set a goal that every kid would be able to walk safely to a park within 10 minutes, a park or open space. And with that goal in mind, we set about intentionally mapping and measuring park access and where their gaps exist so that we can bridge them. And I'm so excited and really proud to announce that with the work that we've done so far, 165,000 Boiseans are now within that 10-minute walk. And we will continue to expand that year after year until we can say each and every one of us can do that. And that walk has got to be a safe, low-stress journey through a connected, walkable, bikeable city. Half a century ago, Boiseans had the vision to rehabilitate the badly polluted Boise River and add miles of protected pathways connecting our city from east to west along that growing ribbon of parks that we love. And with an improbable patchwork of land trades, federal funding, private donors, civic clubs. The city of Boise partnered with the people of Boise and made the Greenbelt real. And we love that Greenbelt. And neighborhoods with canal companies every week. And, oh, thank you. And I want to say on that shortly, I think it was even the next day, after we had the celebration, neighbors were there, so many different people were there because that idea came from neighbors. Another canal company saw this on the news, called up the city and said, we have a piece of land, not sure it'll work, but we want to help. Can we have a conversation? That is what we're looking for. That is what I believe marks Boise and her people and so well. And speaking of those connections that canals will allow us throughout the city, I want to talk about trails. Because over 20 years ago, I like to say a scrappy band of volunteers passed the first Foothills Levee. And since then, residents have stepped up, donating and selling land, building trails with their own hands, volunteering as rangers. The impact of that first levee well surpassed our wildest dreams. And since passing the second in 2015, we've kept working with landowners to set aside open space, acquire trail easements, protect clean water, and create pathways. Working towards a vision of a miles-long experience that spans the length of our Boise front, a Boise Front Trail. Imagine biking or hiking into the foothills at the mouth of the Barber Valley, connecting from one reserve to another, finishing at Boise's edge near Highway 55. I'm so excited today to announce a new piece of property that is key to this vision through Boise's eastern foothills. Susan Miller and Charlotte Bias, the granddaughter and great-grandniece of the original owner, Alvin Seeley, are selling us 80 acres already surrounded by open space with a broad valley near the Mesa Reserve and Table Rock. Land that was once providing apples and cattle to the community will now further this vision that we have of interconnectedness across the entire Boise front. And I want to thank them for that. Through generous partnerships and smart investments, we've been able to deliver access to big, best-in-class amenities, parks, open spaces, while keeping property taxes low. We are proud, I am proud, that Boise is the only city in the state that for a second year in a row provided a citywide property tax rebate to folks on fixed incomes, for seniors, for vets, for those with disabilities, helping people to stay in their homes. And we're also looking out for our youngest residents too, and those we rely on to care for them, helping our families thrive and our businesses retain great employees. We've also done more than any city in the state to support affordable and accessible childcare for Boise's families. We streamlined permitting. We waived fees on a temporary basis. We sped up licensing. We provided grants to all childcare providers in our city. Because it matters to moms and dads, it makes a difference for our kids, and it helps businesses thrive. So those temporary fee waivers for childcare licensing, I'm making them permanent, which means, oh, thank you. Which means that you will not pay the city of Boise to license and operate a childcare facility. And starting next year, we will provide up to $500 in property tax rebate to people who operate licensed in-home childcare centers in the homes that they own. With creativity, good policy, we are demonstrating again and again that we can take care of our residents, meet the needs of a growing city, and look out for one another through every stage of life. Which brings me perhaps to the heart of our mission, homes for the people of Boise. From my earliest days in office, as we watched towns across the country navigate a housing crisis, ensuring homes for people at Boise budgets has been a relentless and central focus at the City of Boise. We set bold goals around housing and homelessness, and there is no local issue more complex, more challenging, more demanding of true partnership than housing. Providing abundant, affordable housing, and critically, making sure that people have paths into homes. And our job is not finished, will not be finished, until everyone who needs a home in Boise has a home in Boise. And our small but mighty team in the Housing and Community Development Department has worked relentlessly to deliver results. They've kept people housed, provided emergency services needed in the moment, dreamed up creative solutions, even as our state government seeks to roadblock or undo their hard work. And I know that with their work and passion as a foundation, we can do more. And that's why I'm appointing a director of homelessness and housing policy in my office and adding to the team to multiply the impact as we keep leading boldly, keeping our focus relentless, and our partnerships strong. And speaking of partners, and the right partners, there's a few I'd like to thank today. Deanna Watson with the Boise City-Ada County Housing Authority, thank you so much for your partnership in meeting the moment when it comes to our community's needs for affordable homes. We are doing more together every year, and it matters, so thank you. Autumn Gold, LEAP, Habitat for Humanity, and NeighborWorks, you make the dream of homeownership real. You partnered with us to update the city's homeownership assistance program, and you've demonstrated what it means to work towards a vision of a city for everyone with a home that people can afford. The power of public, private, and philanthropic partnerships is essential to our success. It builds on our long legacy of taking care of one another. Earlier this year, a Boise couple reached out asking if the city would match a contribution they were considering making to Jesse Tree, a key partner in keeping people housed by preventing evictions. And they asked if we would use this match to encourage others to do the same. And I said, yes, of course. And today I'd like to thank Dwayne and Lori Stickle for your $250,000 investment in Jesse Tree to prevent evictions. Thank you. It's really an honor for the city to match your investment and to encourage others to do the same. Thank you. And to the team at Jesse Tree, Allie and others, thank you for your essential work keeping our neighbors housed. Yes, keeping people housed is key. So let's talk about how we create those houses. When our housing needs analysis told us that to avoid the problems of other failing cities, we needed 250 homes for people exiting homelessness, we set a goal and a deadline of 2026. We asked private developers building affordable homes on city land to dedicate 10% of their new homes to families exiting homelessness. And they rose to that challenge. I want to thank J. Fisher Companies, Northwest Real Estate Capital Corp., and the Pacific Companies for your partnership on our current projects, providing homes at Boise budgets, including families exiting homelessness. And we purchased the Park Apartments last year from Boise State, and next year families exiting homelessness will move into places of their own, ready to build healthy, stable lives for themselves and their families. This summer, we're going to break ground with Pacific Companies on New Path 2.0. That parking lot that's next to Station 5 that's currently under construction, it will be a spot for 50 homes for folks with medical needs exiting homelessness. Permanent supportive housing at New Path, the Park Apartments, Fire Station 5, and in scattered sites around the city provides case management services like healthcare, mental health counseling, substance use disorder treatment that people need to become healthy, self-sufficient, and permanently housed. It's a proven model, one that provides a real path into the future for our most vulnerable residents. Because in a city for everyone, everyone is valuable, and we do not give up on people. But what's the secret to making this work? Funding. Funding for the critical services that make permanent supportive housing a model of success. Those services that keep people housed and on the road to self-sufficiency need funding. And I am so pleased to announce that together with the Idaho Community Foundation, we're launching the Supportive Housing Investment Fund. This is the first time the city has partnered with the Idaho Community Foundation, and I'm inspired and excited by the potential that this public, private, and philanthropic partnership has to invest in proven services to keep people housed and healthy. I have directed $7.5 million in housing funds to launch the Supportive Housing Investment Funds. And with philanthropic and private support, we will match that dollar for dollar. And already, business leaders and foundations have stepped up and responded to this innovative approach and new partnership and the challenge that I've set to match this public investment. Leaders from the Chamber, St. Al's, St. Luke's, Blue Cross, Idaho Power, Micron, the Simplot Foundation, ICCU, Tommy and Shanna Alquist have joined our Blue Ribbon Committee. Thank you, I see many of you right now, for your philanthropic partnership and investment. And I also want to say a special thank you to the Idaho Community Foundation. This is the first time we've worked together to create a tax-deductible fund for community impact. Thank you. You'll spot our early supporters and investments with little blue ribbons, blue ribbon pins on their lapels. Tell them you'd like to get involved. Ask them how, because I'll ask of you today. Join us. Help us meet an important community need, support folks on a path to self-sufficiency, and bring to scale the solutions that prevent homelessness and will keep Boise, Boise. And this gets even better. We're applying for a grant from the U.S. Treasury that will provide for every dollar that keeping people housed saves our city, will provide a reimbursement to the Idaho Community Foundation's fund, up to $10 million over 5 years. Our friends at Boise State are doing the research and will track the savings. We'll submit that. And we'll be able to be reimbursed so that this fund can help keep helping people over and over again and save even more money. I'd say that this is what it looks like to tackle our toughest problems boldly and responsibly, to know that the best solutions are found together, to lead, but never go the trail alone. We have always defied the odds, improbably, here in Boise, and we will do it again. To protect our way of life today, to ensure a sustainable future for ourselves and the generations that come after, we gotta roll up our sleeves, dig in like never before. The answer to that question of what's the secret of Boise is truly within each of us. And so today I'm calling upon you as your mayor, as your partner, to join us. Because people working in common cause made Boise what she is today. And it's only through that common cause that we'll find success into the future. We do incredible things together, Boise. I'd say that we achieve wildly improbable things together, Boise, and we always have. A couple weeks ago, our arts and history director shared a photo with me It was dated May 21st, 2001, which is exactly 23 years ago on Tuesday. It was a group of about 20 people crowded into the yard and on the porch of the Idaho Conservation League. And I looked at that photo, and the moment came flooding back like it was yesterday. I could name everybody in it, even like people that I could only see their backs. This committed band of volunteers and partners who had decided, against all odds, that we were going to save the foothills. I could feel it. I knew where I was sitting unseen at this picnic table on the porch, Madeline's godmother next to me and Scott across the table. And I remember looking at everyone, and my husband in particular, and throughout the day, marveling at what we'd done, and really marveling at how lucky we were to have found a home and built a community through an effort that brought so many of us together. Madeline toddled throughout the commotion, and Aiden was just a dream. All those feelings came back. Being tired from a long day of the campaign, from calling voters, that heady anticipation of waiting for the polls to close and seeing the results, but recognizing that because we'd left nothing on the table, that despite the long odds, it was very likely that this group of people, these volunteers united in love for our city, would soon learn that we'd been successful in passing that first foothills levy that would set in motion the preservation of our foothills open space for generations. And that time taught me so much. It taught me that when we're united, Boiseans create the kind of lasting change that moves mountains. It taught me the value of hard work and bold goals, the value of building connections in every corner of our city with everyone who is willing to talk, and that by bringing people along with a shared vision, we succeed. All too often these days, there are people who would rather point fingers, cast blame, politicians that seek to divide us, to scare us, to make us turn our backs on one another. But I reject that, and so do the people of Boise. So join us. Join us in common cause as we make sure that everyone has a place to call home, knowing that we don't give up on each other. Join me in watching out for our fellow Boiseans, including, yes, those packs of roaming feral kids in every neighborhood in our city, and contribute your time, talent, treasure to the part of Boise's story that you want to shape or change or write for yourself. Please join me, join us in dedication to our Boise, because way out in this high mountain desert, our success is both hard-won and fragile. Our interconnectedness running through all things like the beautiful Boise River. Here in Boise, here in our improbable, wonderful success story of a city, we count on one another. We beat the odds together. We are the secret. And what an incredible privilege it is to be in and a part of that secret. Thank you, Boise. Thank you so much. I'm gonna go this way. Thanks for that great story.
Wow.